Now, the Ethiopian military has urged national unity at the funeral service in Addis Ababa for the army chief and a retired general killed by a bodyguard last weekend. Authorities said the killing of General Sieri Mekonnen and Major General Gizai Abera were related to a failed coup attempt against the government of Amhara. Brigadier Berhanu Jalan, the deputy army chief, said the murders were designed to destabilize the country and raise ethnic conflict in Ethiopia.
My thoughts about this murder is that it was designed to destabilize the country and was planned to raise ethnic conflict in the country and to destabilize the government. They were planning to form a transitional government, but they did not succeed. My father believed in unity, transparency, and working together.
General Brown Ndalo ምንም አይገባውም.
He was a genuine Ethiopian hero.
Now, the Democratic Republic of Congo has applied to join the East African community in a move that could potentially expand the boundaries of the trading bloc to the Atlantic coast of Africa. The application comes following months of talks between DR Congo President Felix Tshisekedi and Rwandan President Paul Kagame, who chairs the East African community. Most, but not all, EAC member states appear to be enthusiastic about DR Congo's membership despite the ongoing Ebola crisis in the country. The potential membership of the Central African country is being viewed as a game changer given its natural resources, wealth, and a huge consumer market of 81 million people. It's the world's biggest producer of cobalt and a major component in the manufacture of rechargeable batteries for electric vehicles. It's also Africa's main copper producer. It produces gold, diamonds, uranium, and a lot of other precious metals, and that makes it one of the most resource-rich countries in the world. Well, for more on this, I'm joined now by the African Affairs analyst and publisher of Africa Briefing, John Ofei-Ansah. Thank you, John, for coming in. And of course, the last country to join the EAC, or to attempt to join, was South Sudan in 2016. Its entry then, when there has been so much conflict in the area, raised concerns about security and border crossings. Now, with the DRC looking to join, these tensions have increased again, especially with the rising threat of Ebola. What do you make of it?
Well, the advantages, accruing, to the EAC, with if DRC is admitted to the membership of the economic grouping, far outweighs the problems they have in the eastern, part of the country, namely the militia activity and the threat of Ebola. Yes, Ebola is there. It's killed about 1,400 people. But WHO and other health, bodies are fighting hard to contain it. So Ebola will be overcome, right? But the advantages, that will accrue from its membership, it will be far-reaching. So that shouldn't, be factored in as a problem, at all.
Well, I mean, I suppose there are going to be winners and losers, if the DRC joins. Uganda, for instance, believes it's going to benefit economically and is therefore, more keen. And there are countries like, of course, Rwanda that have trade tensions with the DRC, and they're a little bit more reluctant. Is that sort of an accurate picture?
Well, I wouldn't say Rwanda is reluctant, no. In fact, Rwanda's President Paul Kagame, who is the current chairman of the EAC, has actually sent his recommendations, to, about the application, about DRC's application to be considered at the next Heads of State meeting, in Tanzania in November. So I don't know why, some people think that Rwanda is against it. Look, the total, the EAC as it stands now, the 6 members of the EAC as it stands now, has about 6% of their total exports go to DRC. And as you said in your report, DRC has a population of 81 million, okay? And so when this 81 million is added to the current total population of the 6 member states, we're talking about 275, a market of 275 million. Look, Kenya's former Prime Minister, Raila Odinga, who is now the UN, so the African Union's Special Envoy for Infrastructure Development, was in Kinshasa recently and met with President Felix Tshisekedi, right? After which he said, look here, if DRC is admitted, becomes a member of the EAC, like you said, it will be a game changer. EAC is also, apart from the natural resources that you mentioned, DRC is also host to the world's second longest river, the River Congo, right? And they are talking about some hydroelectric projects. They've already done the Inga Dam. They've done the Inga 1, Inga 2, Inga 3. They are now proposing to build the Inga 8 and 9. And if that Inga 8 and 9 hydroelectric project comes on stream, right, we're talking about a provision of 110,000 megawatts of electricity, enough to power just about the whole of Sub-Saharan Africa. So the benefits that will accrue to the UC, is enormous. Are enormous. And again, it will be one of the pillars, right, of the African Union's Africa Continental Free Trade Area.
And John, just remind us why so many countries, Somalia, the DRC, Sudan, South Sudan, are lining up for membership of the EAC. I understand all the predictions are that East Africa is likely to be the fastest growing region in Africa for the 5th straight year this year, projected to grow at 5.9% by the African Development Bank.
Yes, I mean, it's been the fastest growing, sub-region in Sub-Saharan Africa. And like you rightly said, growth last year was 5.7. This year is projected to grow at 5.9, and 2020 at 6.1, right? The advantages are enormous. So DRC being part of it will rather accelerate, this growth and open up, the country to more business from outside. We're talking about FDI, foreign direct investment. Look, there are a lot of powerful players within DRC now, including multinationals, South Africa and China. So its accession, to EAC membership, will reap so many benefits for the whole region.
And just very briefly, John, because we're almost out of time, I mean, there are other troubled countries on the waiting list to join the EAC, like Somalia and Sudan and, not South Sudan specifically, and the DRC, of course. Do you suppose that the DRC's proposed entry is likely to be smoother than that of those countries?
Yes, Somalia was denied membership because of political instability. Okay, and one of the conditions for membership is adherence to the principles of democracy. I mean, the EAC's conditions: adherence to the principles of democracy, respect for human rights, social justice, gender equality, and so on and so forth. And so far, I mean, DRC had its first democratic elections since independence in 1960 in December. And the elections, in fact, people, some analysts, myself included, thought it would be acrimonious, but our doubts, our fears were confounded. The elections went on smoothly. Tshisekedi was elected, and everything is going on. So DRC so far meets not all, but most of the conditions for membership of DRC meets most of the conditions for the membership of the EAC. So I believe, I don't foresee any problems, in the country joining the European, the East African community.
Okay, John, thank you very much indeed. John Ofe Ansah, the African Affairs analyst and publisher of Africa Briefing. You're watching Arise News Hour. Plenty more.